Do you know if your personality is making you or losing you $100,000 or more per year? Welcome to the webinar. My name is Dr. Paul S. Inselman, and I am the president of Creative Coaching, LLC. I am a business and success coach who is certified in DISC. I am an entrepreneur and the radio host of Build a Better Business on WSBR Radio. It can be heard every Thursday morning at 10:06 a.m. I have also been the proud recipient of the Outstanding Coaches Award in 2014, 2015, 2016, and 2017. Our telephone number is up on the screen if you have questions after the webinar or if you'd like to contact us at any point in the future, as well as our web address and email address. So, what we're going to cover today are: what is DISC? Common behaviors that are either losing you money or making you money, and how to best use DISC. Then we're going to talk about some action steps that you could take today. We'll go over some testimonials, and then we'll open it up to your questions, and I'll give you some answers. Let me ask you, did you ever walk into a room and just not like somebody? They didn't say a word to you. They didn't even look at you. You just walked in, saw that person, and you just knew you did not care for them. Why is that? And conversely, did you ever just walk into a room and just say, hey, I have to meet that person? Why is that? Welcome to the amazing world of DISC. DISC is Universal Language of Behavior. As a matter of fact, DISC means behavior. It's how you do what you do. Now, DISC does not make a person right or wrong or good or bad, and it really is not what style you are, but what you do with your style that's important. And that's the reason why you either disliked that person when you walked into the room or you just liked them a lot. You see, it was their behavior. Maybe it was something that they had on their shirt, or maybe it was the way that they held their head, or maybe it was the way they wore their jewelry. Whatever it is, behavior is a huge, huge implicator and will have pronounced and profound effects in your personal relationships, in your business relationships, how many jobs you close versus how many you don't, and also in employee-employer relationships. So the objectives of behavior are, number one, to identify and understand your style. You see, if I was talking to you in Chinese right now, we would not be having a very good communication because you didn't understand the language. Well, everybody has their own unique language and their own style. Number two, it's to identify, understand, and appreciate people who have different styles. And this is the money card right here. It's learning how to adapt to other people's styles. And this is the key to sales, this is the key to managing employees, and this is the key to successful personal relationships. Now, D in the DISC stands for dominance. It's how you address problems. You see, a high D is quick to anger. They are very, very demanding. They are egocentric. They are driving and they're ambitious. If you're speaking to a high D personality, and think of Donald Trump as an example, you better provide solutions, not options. You better present facts logically, and you better get it down in about 5 words or less. Now, this doesn't make a high D person better than any other person. It's just the way they communicate. What about a high I person? Or I means the influence of how you handle situations involving people. Think about Oprah Winfrey as an example. She is a high I. She is optimistic. She is trusting. She's effusive. She's inspiring. She's magnetic, political, and enthusiastic. And the tips when you're conversing with somebody who is considered to be an I is to be positive and ask them to commit to a plan. The S in the DISC is steadiness. It's how you demonstrate pace and consistency. Think about Mr. Rogers. He's consistent. He's non-expressive. He's relaxed. He's resistant to change. He's passive. He's very patient. And he's possessive. Tips when speaking to somebody who is a high S is to show sincere interest and show them how they can minimize risks. Now, a high C, an example of that would be Mother Teresa. A high C has compliance. It's how you react to procedures and constraints. A high C person is extremely detail-oriented. They're evasive. They worry a lot. They're careful. They're dependent. They're cautious. And they're very, very conventional. When you're speaking to somebody who's a high C, prepare well in advance. Be direct and have lots of data to support your viewpoints and your position. You see, DISC, D-I-S-C, you are a combination of all of these. You have D components, you have I components, you have S components, and you have C components. However, you may have a higher D or a lower C or a higher I, etc., etc. The whole idea behind DISC assessments is to know your style and how you react to the world. Now, knowing characteristics when a person is in high D or low D is just as important. You see, when somebody is in a low D mode, they're slow to anger, they're unobtrusive, they're agreeable, they're cautious, and they're undemanding. And when you're talking to somebody when they're in low D mode, it's important to draw them into a conversation and present your reasons calmly and succinctly. When somebody's in a low I, they're usually pessimistic and distrusting. They're critical, they may be moody, they may be indecisive. What you want to do with somebody in a low I situation is be calm, be mellow, and don't get too personal with them. With a low S, it is important to know that they are emotional, they become very expressive and impulsive, they become flexible, and they become eager. When you're talking to somebody who is a low S, express your feelings and show an openness. Low C individuals become very careless with their details. They become unbending and very arbitrary in their thinking and in their actions. Often they become uninhibited, self-righteous, and their systems just fall apart. When you're speaking to somebody who is a low C, highlight new opportunities and challenge them, but challenge them sincerely. So, what do Fortune 500 companies know that you don't? Think about a Fortune 500 company for a moment. What are they interested in? They're interested in profits, making money, and there's nothing wrong with that. They also understand that there are two ways to make money. Number one, you grow your business, and number two, you decrease waste. What happens is, from an employer perspective, if you think of any one of your job positions, there are two parts to that job. There is the behavioral component, which is so often overlooked, and the task component. Think about it for a moment. People get hired for their skill sets and their tasks, but they get fired for their behavior. So, for example, if you're looking for a front desk person, can you answer the phone? Yes. Can you use a computer? Yes. Can you put people in an appointment book? Yes. Those are all the tasks. So when somebody comes for a job and the employer hears that they have all this experience, boom, they get hired. But then 3 days later, they get fired. Why? Because they were late. That's a behavioral component. Or they were cruising Facebook on the internet, a behavioral component. So remember, people get hired for their tasks or skills, but they get fired for their behavior. That's what Fortune 500 companies know. So what Fortune 500 companies do is they use DISC assessments with every one of their employees, so they know that the right person with the right behavior is being matched to the tasks, so they don't have a revolving chair, and thus that decreases waste, that decreases time, that increases profits. So remember, you and me and the prospect that you're looking to close and your girlfriend or boyfriend, they are comprised of DISC. They are comprised of DISC. Sometimes they have characteristics that are higher in the scale in certain areas, and sometimes they're lower. And when you understand how you are, how to use your behaviors and your personality to its highest level, you can't help but have better relationships. You can't help but have more money in your pocket because you will close more deals, and you can't help but to have a happier, more productive life. Our clients are very well aware of what we do with them. Number one, we help our clients make more money. We help them grow their business. Number two, we help our clients protect their money. And number three, we help our clients' money make them more money. This is a terrific client. His name is Adam, and he had used many business coaches before us. And what we did was we taught him DISC. And when we taught him how he thinks, how he reacts, and how he looks at the world, all of a sudden he had so many more closings. He had such better relationships with friends, family, etc. And was so happy that he took the time to write this testimonial. Nicholas is another amazing client. And I kept teaching him and telling him, Nicholas, you are your own worst enemy. You get in the way of more deals, and that's what's stopping you from closing and reaching your goals. When we taught him DISC, it just blew him out of the water. He never knew that others viewed him the way they were. He only saw the world through his rosy glasses, and to him, his way was the only way. But when he understood and learned that there were other styles, and most importantly, when he learned how to blend his style with the others, he had more closings than he knew what to do with, and his business just grew exponentially. So, are you ready to start changing your financial future? If you are, take out your cell phone and pull up the application that you use to text. In the recipient box, go ahead and type the short code 313131. And in the texting area, type the word EZ Consult, EZ-CONSULT. Hit the send button. In a moment, you will receive a text back. After this webinar ends, go ahead and open the link and follow the instructions to schedule a free and no obligation telephone consultation with me to learn if you're even a candidate for a DISC assessment. You see, we don't do DISC assessments with just anybody. Not everybody is a candidate. After your appointment is made, you will receive a detailed business profile from the company Sign Now that you could fill out. It'll take you about 10 or 15 minutes. You could do it right online. After you fill out the form on the Sign Now, press the blue Done button, and that's it. You're done. This business profile will be very introspective for you and diagnostic for me. On the day of your telephone consultation, we will discuss your profile, and you and I will figure out together if you are a candidate for a DISC assessment. If you are, we'll go ahead and get that information to you, and we'll start having you change your world like so many other of our successful clients have. If you don't do texting for any reason, go ahead and write down the URL that's in front of you. That will put you into my appointment book. Follow the instructions, and we'll get the assessment to you, and we'll see exactly what the next steps are needed for you. So I truly want to thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to watch this webinar. I hope that it has changed the way that you think about not only yourself, but how you present to the world. I am confident that as you take the next step and sign up for that free and no obligation consultation, you'll be taking a huge step in your growth and development, not only personally, professionally, but also financially. My name is Dr. Paul Inselman. My contact information is there. If you want to reach us by phone, the telephone number is at the bottom of the slide, and it's 888-201-0567. Thank you so much for taking the time for this webinar, and I look forward to serving you in the very near future. Have a great day.